You're watching Avenue X. And today I want to talk about two dramas I've recently finished watching. That apart from the fact that I finished watching and they both have 24 episodes count, there's nothing they have in common. As you can tell from the thumbnail, it is first a super short but then stretched into 24 episodes count. Tiny short drama that's being aired on Tencent, iQIYI, and Mango, and actually made mostly by Mango. 三更雪. English title is The Tower of Whispers. Workable length of the drama for every episode is 10 minutes. So 24 pretty much is 6 episodes long. Conventional 45 minutes per episode length drama. And it's led by He Landou and Deng Xiaoci. Then the other one is a much more traditional, proper 24 episodes with full-length 45 minutes per episode drama that has aired on iQIYI and Tencent. Also, certain provincial satellite televisions called 围猎 Hunting. It is led by Wang Yang, Zhang Youhao, Deng Enxi, Yu Haoming. And before we go into them individually, just quickly mentioning, I do know there are other dramas on air now that are technically more popular, getting a lot of number, like peaking, and seems a lot of people are watching them. I really did try, and I really couldn't watch them. As a YouTuber, the thing about it is you know what is hot within your domain, and if you talk about them, you're gonna get a lot of views. Earlier this year, there's this BL drama that's like not aired in China, but actually a Chinese drama that everybody is talking about. Right now, another drama that's on air, and if you've watched my last week's live stream, you know they're diehard fans of the lead actors. All those dramas, if I talk about them, oh sure, I'm gonna get more ad money. I just happen to be one of those people who really cannot force myself to watch stuff that I cannot watch. I tried multiple times, and certain dramas I can barely make through episode 2. So we're gonna talk about 2 dramas that are not gonna get any noticed and definitely not gonna get a lot of view for my video, but hey, Avenue X has long given up to be a huge influencer anyway. So let's start with the short drama that I actually just binged in one day and find it not annoying at all. And that is its best merit and already a rare thing, 三更雪. The Tower of Whispers, led by He Landou and Deng Xiaoci, and other people, but other people really are very other people. Like for idol dramas, like the proper size 45 minutes per episode drama, if they cast 2 very, very young popular traffic actors as the lead, the father and the mother, the sort of elder generation, usually are those veteran actors in Chinese drama land who's worked for 4 decades or something. Even though they are not popular, they are well established. And all of those people are very good at acting, usually better than the young main actors. Yet this drama, it's actually 微短剧, which means tiny short dramas. And it's so short that it's short on budget, short on set, short on writing, short on everything, even short on older actors. So for the daddy generation actors in this drama, pretty much they are all borderlining embarrassingly bad acting. It's like your dad probably can do a better job than them type of level. Given this drama is so tiny and so low on everything, the best they can do is not make it look like a joke. And it's written on such a simplified level of everything because it's like those 1 minute per episode drama that just happens to be 10 minutes per episode, but really apart from that, and apart from not having a vertical screen, it is just like a tiny short reel drama. So they need to push the plot to that point, and then they give you very, very condensed kind of way of explanation of how it got there. And logic, if you want to scrutinize, nothing actually makes sense. 2 kindergarten kids playing daddy and mommy and then using mud as food. It's like that. This drama is very playing house on that level, and it is a very typical, very web novel-like story with no fresh character setup, design, anything in detail or inventive or creative, none of that. You have the female lead die right at the beginning of the story. She's married to a psycho emperor of this fictional kingdom who murders people and literally murders her too. On her way to the underworld, when she's being ferried by this, underworld whatever being, she got kind of reincarnated, or her consciousness gets pushed back to when she hasn't yet died, and so she gets a second chance to relive her life. And so most of the story is basically changing what has happened in her first lifetime. And then the male lead is the psycho emperor of this fictional dynasty, and everybody else is just here to cheer on the show. That's what the story is. Super, super web novel. And every turn of the plot is super expected. And like I said, it's low budget, so if you want to see some great looking things, you're not gonna get them. But given probably how low the budget is, actually the drama doesn't look too bad. There are actually dramas that have spent a lot more money. It's supposed to be S+ and bigger productions that look worse than this. So I'm actually surprisingly pleased by the end result. The greatest surprising thing about this drama to me was discovering the male lead young actor, Deng Xiaoci, who looked eerily like Hu Yitian. He can play the younger brother of Hu Yitian even in real life. And if they go to dinner with their friends and family, and suddenly Hu Yitian's family is introducing this guy, it's like, this is actually his brother who's just like living abroad and you've never met. Everybody would believe it. Not as far as twins, because different height and build. This guy is like a shrunken size of Hu Yitian, and with 20% of Wei Zheming injected into his 45 angle profile line, particularly if you have the camera from a lower angle. Throughout the 24 episodes of watching this drama, every time he shows up on screen, my brain has this freeze kind of reaction to it because it thinks it's looking at an AI-generated image of blending Hu Yitian and Wei Zheming together, yet this is a real person. One of the weirdest experiences my brain has experienced watching a Chinese drama. And this young guy, I've never seen him in anything before. Although this drama is ridiculous on its premise, and like I said, it's a very condensed and very short reel kind of drama that you cannot really stop and think about its logic, he actually plays it really seriously. He may not be a very, very talented or skilled young actor. I wouldn't call it the type of naturally born for screen, but with that ridiculous setup, and then sometimes if you don't believe in it to that degree, your performance is not going to convince the audiences and it's going to look even more embarrassing. He didn't do any of that. His performance is actually believable, just as you would want this kind of characters to be played. You know, like when you go to Burger King or McDonald's, you're not hoping for the greatest food there, but you're hoping for that meeting your expectation exactly food. And this drama is that, and his performance is that too. I really hope his future career can be like stepping up gradually so he can get proper big roles, because he's got really good face and very suitable for period dramas. Then for He Landou to be the female lead, I always knew she's a really good young actress and often underrated and underestimated, I think, in the stuff she's done. If you look at her previous works, she's played so many different characters who are vastly different. Yet she can do it to the level where you never even question that why she's put in that place. She just owns it. So I had an expectation of what kind of performance she would provide, and when I watch it, it's like completely up to your expectation. It's like the very reliable good student in the class. Before you even give the exam and test, you know how they would score. He Landou's performance in this drama is like that, and she's definitely the more famous and more established actress. When she's there, she really holds the story together because most of the story is her perspective. That is what this drama feels like. And then the rest is completely irrelevant. Like, yes, it has a male second, it has a female second, it has peripheral characters, but these people almost do not really have to mean anything, and you know they're there to just make the structure of the story work. When they are there, might as well just give them the set plot of what usually happens to male second and female second, all that. Nothing new. I was told before I go into this drama that it's the cheap thrill, short reel drama. Don't expect great things from it, but when you watch it, you're gonna feel like they actually take it seriously. So I knew what I should be expecting, and when I got in, I'm like, okay, I see why. This drama is tiny, it didn't explode, and it's not gonna do that after it has finished airing, but mostly while people are on board watching it and chasing it when it was updating, most people were really happy. And at the end of the day, if you condense down to one sentence, it is not an annoying drama. It has not even one part of it or element of it, a percentage of it or a facade of it that makes you feel annoyed. And if people who haven't been following Chinese dramaland, they would have no idea about how hard that is to come by these days. A lot of bigger dramas are inevitably embroiled in within the drama and also without the dramas. Like the data mining like team that's trying to get everything controlled. You have actors fighting for who's number one within the ranking of the drama and having all the extra dramas created. You have different people's fandoms literally cutting each other's throat. You have fans actually fighting the production company or the platform. The mess that most popular dramas have makes the drama almost like might as well not bother with it. Go and play a game. It is so rare to see a drama that is not annoying in any sense, and it's so tiny that it cannot afford to be annoying or nobody cares about it enough to make it annoying. And at the end of it, you're like, I'm entertained, I've had fun, goodbye. I will forget about you 3 months later, but at least while I was on, that was a good burger. Conclusion on 三更雪, The Tower of Whispers. Very watchable, not gonna give you anything extra apart from what it has promised you on its packaging. And then if you're curious to see how eerily an actor can look like another actor or the combination of another two actors, check out this one. It is literally shocking. It's like one of the most look-alike in drama history. Second, let's talk about 围猎 hunting. This is totally opposite to 三更雪. Proper 45 minutes per episode, 24 episodes drama made by very old school people in this industry. Li Shaohong, the rare couple of female Chinese directors still working today in Dramaland, also among the longest establishing, still working female directors. Li Shaohong has always worked also with her husband, Zeng Yanping, who is a very famous DP, old school, properly trained, knows everything and traditions and techniques and lighting and everything. You may not like his style, but when you look at his stuff, you know like this guy knows what lighting is. So they came together, and I had no idea this happened, to make this anti-drug drama, which is a very common genre in Chinese dramaland. A couple of basic informations about this production. It was actually done in 2023. They shot it from August to November. Then it took the whole of 24 and then most of 25 to get its post-production done and censorship done. This is the type of thing that when it concerns real police work, dramas get censored for a long time. Like earlier this year, Sword Rose, that drama was made quite a long time ago and it went through so many years of censoring. The drama is based on a novel, which is also called 围猎, written by this author who is a very famous author in China who writes the type of literature that's all based on reality. And this book is based on a huge amount of research this person has done regarding the Guangdong province, many real cases of anti-drug police, their work and what they sort of get in contact with every day, and then how those cases kind of work out in reality. So it's a reality-based novel that gets then adapted into the drama and went through almost 2 years of post-production and getting the license. Led by Wang Yang, Zhang Youhao, Deng Enxi, Yu Haoming. These are the four most important characters. Two parties of drug-making people kind of fighting for the market, whereas police is on top and trying to figure out what's going on, and then little people got involved and unfortunately certain bad things happen kind of story. So it's an anti-drug drama, but it's very location and time and controlled under that kind of size of a geo and space and time situation drama. If you like these actors, it's worth going in drama because all these actors can provide a very convincing and good enough level of performance. This drama gives me a really weird feeling of certain parts of it, like I can see it's just really well done. It's probably better than 95% of other Chinese dramas you see these days. Yet on the other hand, almost every strength of it also has a sort of like flip side of it that's not making it a hot drama. It didn't do very well at all. It's pretty much flying under the radar. So I'm not gonna say what's good and bad about this drama. I'm gonna just say the points I noticed and I'll say the two sides of it. It's like everything I can see that is a strength can also be its weakness or can also be the reason why it's not catching. First thing, this is done by a very, very professional team because it's Li Shaohong directed and it literally really is her. It's not like she just has a name on it and somebody else is doing the job. If you look at its special features, she's the person who is behind the monitor and shouting in walkie-talkie and directing actors. And then it's done by her husband, who is a very good cinematographer. And they are from the olden days, the days before market opened up and filmmaking was a national owned business. Extremely consistent look of it. It's like from shot one to shot last, it's graded to the exact same look they want. You may not like the look, but it's super consistent. There's no up, basically. A lot of other Chinese dramas don't have that at all. You have not only weird lighting, you have weird inconsistent skin smoothing. You even have like overexposure, underexposure. It's like using the wrong lens for the shot. That does not happen. This is so obvious to the point where a friend of mine who's also in the industry, and for like first 10 minutes, and she started to text me. Such a professional, like so old school. Dramas don't get shot like this these days, and it just doesn't look like this anymore. She's like, who did it? I'm like, Li Shaohong. She's like, what? I have no idea. She's doing anti-drug drama now, and she's like in her 60s, 70s now. And I'm like, you may not know, but actually this director started her career in movies and in crime movies. She's one of those rare Chinese female directors who actually is very good at crime stories, and she's made famous by doing it, and that's where her career started. Watch this drama will give you that sense of this person, they know the genre. But then, what is the not so ideal side of that point? Which is, if you don't like her style, this is not gonna read well because it's gonna be like that from minute one to the last. It is intentionally desaturated, the visual, and intentionally lowered contrast with a faded look. If you like highly contrasty, very rich color, you're not gonna like this drama, period. And it's gonna be like that every frame of it. Number two, the drama decided to use 塑料普通话, which is plastic Mandarin, a web term to describe people who cannot speak standard Mandarin. They have a very strong regional accent. They decided eventually to settle down on most of the main characters constantly speaking plastic Mandarin of the southern region of China, mixing the Fujian and Guangdong accent into it. And this is mostly because initially they wanted to actually make everybody speak Cantonese or the Fujian dialect because it's set there. Then they realized it's too much trouble to get through censorship and everything. And then not every actor actually can speak perfect southern dialect. So they've resulted in making everybody learn the plastic Mandarin of that place. And it kind of made it sound even weirder for Chinese audiences, because realistically, if you're in a highly dialectic region of China, you're gonna hear a mixture of either pure dialect, never speaking Mandarin, or people from outside of the province who speak a Mandarin that is not locally accented, because a local person living there would not bother to speak plastic Mandarin. They would just speak a local dialect. So it creates this really weird feeling of everyone is putting on an accent. Occasionally, certain actors will just speak a part of their lines purely in Cantonese, but then there will be time when they jump back to the plastic Mandarin. This doesn't apply to international audiences who cannot tell the accents and wouldn't get bothered by it. But for me, watching 24 episodes, it was this weirdest experience of audio kind of believability of the world. And I wouldn't say actually the end result is positive. Number three, some actors, they still kind of come across as too playing a character instead of being the person. Now, being the person, the best actors in this drama actually would be Yu Ailei, who plays this policeman, like the Chi Peng of this thriving land, the kind of totally believable character. Then actually, Zhang Youhao and Wang Yang are kind of stepped down, is not super as naturally integrated into the story as Yu Ailei is, but then they're both very good doing what they do. Then you kind of keep stepping down. Yu Haoming will be less than that. You can see a kind of very intentionally forced kind of vibe of the drug dealer and the cook person, and then you keep going down. Deng Enxi, she's actually a pretty good actress, but I think she's a miscast for this character. Throughout the whole drama, I never really believed for a second that she actually can be an anti-drug police, even when she's really just office worker. On script level, they really didn't do her any help to make the character believable. And the kind of semi-romantic storyline you have with her character and Zhang Youhao's character is probably the most weird and not making sense storyline in the whole thing, and it kind of devalues the credibility of the story quite a lot. Overall, it is still a very professional drama, but I think it hasn't been very well balanced. So you would always experience for parts of this drama, when it's only these couple of characters there, it's like totally fine, safe sailing, okay acting, no problem. And then it moves to the next scene where you have like a couple of other characters and you're like, something is just off. Anyway, what I mean is watching this drama gives you the feeling of you're constantly jumping between different levels of being convincing due to casting and acting. Last thing is, as an anti-drug drama, maybe it's really based on reality, like a lot of cases that happen in reality, but I think when you adapt it to drama storytelling, you do have to think you are actually telling it to audiences in this media form. You have to think about their experience, and when they watch a story, what makes a good story exciting or engaging, or what makes people want to keep watching it. This drama has the problem, when the story is happening, it may make sense, but it doesn't make dramatic sense. It may be based on real cases, maybe in real life, certain things did happen in this way. It's slow, it's boring, it's a lot of effort and resulting in nothing, and people go back and forth, and it's unclear, it's meandering. Yes, that's totally realistic, but you are a drama, you're actually not a documentary. So this drama has this problem of the story being very mushy. When you watch through 24, it's very hard for you to repeat like what happened after another. There's not a clean line. It's like things are just going this way constantly. Like going back, going forward, all tangled together. Multiple characters are always doing this. So it's extremely muddy at the end. And then when you talk about between episode and episode and stages of the story, also it lacks a lot of exciting things that drug dealers and police. It's life and death for all the main people involved in it constantly. You need high pressure, you need release, you need constantly, getting adrenaline rush. That's the nature of the story. Yet this drama just often is not doing that. Not being fun, exciting, exhilarating, page turning is one of its biggest problems. Like on one hand is like I will actually watch through the whole 24 episodes and I liked certain characters, and I would say it's done by really professional people that you rarely get these days in Chinese drama land, where it's just filled with people who know not what they're doing. On the other hand, it just isn't a good enough, exciting enough story. Everybody only has, for example, that 3 hours after they work every day before they go to sleep. That's the only time they can do some entertainment. They have so many choices. Why would they go to a drama? So almost Dramaland are forced to do certain things that may not fit the old school, high taste drama or movie makers' idea about good story, but it works in today's environment. And this drama almost completely lacks any of that kind of intentional design. Think about it versus, for example, the recent Mobius. Yes, it's a time loop drama, but it's also essentially a case-breaking drama. And it's a case breaking of a different nature than, let's say, drug making, but really how different are they? At the end of the day, life-threatening. Yet that drama's energy is so well controlled. It has such a consistent line, and when you watch it and you stop and after 2 weeks, try to recall what happens, it's still very easy to recall what happens to Mobius. And I've just finished watching Hunting, and I can tell you I already kind of don't really remember what happened. It's so muddled up. I don't think it's a bad drama, but it didn't do well, and it totally makes sense why it didn't do well. And it's just another drama that's gonna get forgotten in no time. At the end of this video, it's another combine, put stuff together so that I don't have to make 2 videos video that I've made so many this year. We do have new dramas coming out today and tomorrow. And I just hope at least something is like worth watching for me to stick from the beginning till the end, instead of a couple of other things that has happened recently in September to now that are like, oh my god. The fact that it exists is like embarrassment to our timeline. If there are universes where those dramas didn't happen, we are an embarrassment to them. That's literally how I feel about certain dramas ongoing right now in China. Thank you for watching Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video. Meanwhile, live long and happy drama watching.